Hi friends, welcome back to Teaching in Room 9, our region's largest classroom. My name is Julia. I'm one of the second grade teachers at the Soulard School. And here for Teaching in Room 9, this time around, my lessons focus on phonemic awareness. So one of the things that we kind of talked about in our lessons here together was print awareness. Print just being a written or spoken word. We talked about that umbrella of print, and underneath that umbrella were the raindrops of our book handling skills, knowing where to find some of those parts of a book, like the cover, the front cover and the back cover, the spine of the book, the pages, and knowing that we read from left to right. We also talked a little bit about our concept of word. What is it that makes a word? And we also talked about some of our attitudes that we might be having towards reading and writing and how important it is for us to try our best to make really positive or create positive attitudes towards reading and writing, because it's something that's so very important that we'll use for the rest of our life. So in order for us to kind of get our brain thinking about all these things that I'm talking about and letters and sounds and all that good stuff, I'd like to sing this song that I'd written and I've sung with you guys here before. So I'm hoping by now maybe you can start to sing along with me. If you have not heard it before, just do your best, jump in if you can, and listen to some of the things that go over in our song so that we can review some of the things we've talked about. Our tune is the Ants Go Marching. When we first learn how to read, we look at books. When we first learn how to read, we look at books. We have the front and back covers, and then you have a spine like mine. The spine holds books together and keeps them straight and tall. Boom, boom, boom. On the front cover, you'll find the author. The author is who works so hard to write the book. Then the illustrator is the one who drew all the pictures, and you have a title that is the name of a book. Boom, boom, boom. Between the covers of the book, you'll find the pages. On the pages are the letters that make words. The words inform the sentences that came straight from the author's mind. They will tell a story or teach us facts. Imagine that. Boom, boom, boom. When we read, we always go from left to right. When we read, we're always sure to touch each word. Each time we start at the capital letter, reading every word until we get to the end, period. And then we did it. Boom, boom, boom. Once we've read the book from front to back, it's done. But hold on, just you wait, there is much more fun. Let's talk about what we just read. Did we understand the words? What was the author trying to say to us this day? Boom, 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 boom. Yay, nicely done, friends. I can tell some of you are starting to sing along. Hopefully that kind of helped to jog your brain and be thinking about some of the things we've talked about here together. Letters, letter sounds, and how they come together to make words that we read in a story. So we also focused last time on some of our short vowel sounds, which is my chart here behind me. And it says, go shorties, it's your big day. And we just want to hear what short vowels say. And you can see all of our vowels right here. Will you shout them out really nice and loud for me at home? Ready? A, E, I, O, U. Again. A, E, I, O, U. Nicely done, friends. We're going to go over some of those examples and some of the songs that we sang last time. But here for our lesson today, we are going to be focusing on that other sound that letters make, the long vowel sounds. So these were all of our short vowels, our shorties. Today, our learning goal or objective is I can understand my long vowel sounds. I can understand magic E. I've also heard the magic E called silent E or bossy E. Whichever way you call it, we will review that today. because that is one of the main ways that we can find our long vowel sounds. But turns out, friends, there is so many ways that we can hear that long vowel sound. And that's what we're going to be focusing on here today. I'd like to teach you a little song to the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And it's our Magic E song. And I've got my little Magic E wand here. You can see my Magic E chart here with our Magic E wand here as well. We'll go over to some of these examples and add some of our own. Magic E, the end of a word is where I'll be. I don't say eh or e, I just sit there silently. But the vowel that I'm around gets to make their long, long sound. Yay! Nicely done, friends. So, we know our short vowel sounds. Okay, so we're going to start with the letter A. Okay, so for our shorties, A said ah, ah. See how open my mouth is? My tongue is touching the bottom of my teeth. Ah, ah, and it's kind of flat in my mouth. Our short vowel for A, our song there was to the tune of Baba Black Sheep. Short A, that's your sound. Short A, that's your sound. In cat and in rat. In map and in cap. Short A, that's your sound. Short A, that's your sound. And some of those examples we came up with were at, map, cat, and bat. Now, focusing on A. That's our short vowel sound. Our long vowel sound says its name. So if the letter is A, our long vowel sound is A. Can you say that with me? A. My mouth again is open pretty wide. A. My tongue is kind of pushed forward against my bottom teeth. A. And I'm just saying the name of the letter. So here's an example right here of the word bake. Magic E makes the first vowel say its name like we learned in our song. So here you've got the letter B, B. The letter A, it's a long vowel sound because of our magic E on the end here. It makes this vowel here say its long, long sound, that A sound. B, A. Now you can see the letter K says K. And then magic E is there because it's so silent and magic. We can see it, but we cannot hear it. That's why in our song, it says, I don't say eh, like the short E sound, and I don't say E, like the long E sound. I'm silent and sneaky, but I'm a little bit bossy. And that's why I tell this vowel here to say its long vowel name, bake. And now you can see here, I've got an example of the word tap, p. But now if I add a magic E, it turns that short vowel into its long vowel sound A, p. And I've got that magic E there, and you can see my picture of a roll of tape. All right, what are some other examples of long A words? Maybe try to think in your brain. One of the things that's really great for practicing phonemic awareness is thinking of rhyming words. Again, rhyming words have that same ending sound. So if I'm looking at the word bake, what's a word that rhymes with bake? Can you shout it out nice and loud? Oh, I heard a friend say cake. That is a delicious word, and it absolutely rhymes with bake. It has our long vowel sound, A, because of that magic E on the end. And in between our vowel, that'll say its name, and silent E, you have a consonant. And again, consonants are just all those other letters besides our vowels. So I'm gonna add it up here, cake. right around our word bake. What's another word that rhymes with the words bake and cake? Oh, I heard a friend say lake. Lake. Absolutely. They have those same ending sounds, the same vowels, the same ending sounds. What's another word that rhymes with bake, cake, lake? Yes, I heard a friend say make, make. I need to make something. These all have those same sounds. There's actually so many of them as well. We could have added take, sake, and lots of other words as well. All right, and then we can see here we've got the word tape is another example. All right, let's move on to our next vowel. We've practiced our A, short A, ah. Long A says its name, A, A. So looking at our shorties, short vowel here. Our next friend is E. Short E says eh, eh. So not quite ah, it's not quite as wide as the A, eh. You can see there's a little bit less space here. Again, my tongue is pressing against my bottom teeth, eh. But my tongue might be a little bit flatter on the short E. Okay, so our short E song that we learned last week, tuned to the 10 in the bed. There were 10 in the bed, and the short E said, ah, 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 ah. Bed, ah, ah, red, ah, ah, wet, ah, ah, and jet, ah, ah. There were 10 in the bed, and the short E said, ah, 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 ah. Nicely done. So now we're dealing with that long E sound, which again will say its name. E, E. So you can see down here, I've got the word Pete, like in someone's name. That's why I have a little picture of a boy named Pete, and you can see that that letter is capital because we always start names with a big capital letter. So we can see here, Pete, Pete. It doesn't make that short eh. The magic E comes in the end and makes this E say its long name, E. And it has that consonant in between the E long vowel and the magic E on the end. So I'm gonna add another E to our chart here. Pete. Okay, what are some other examples maybe? They can be names as well of words that maybe either rhyme with Pete or have that long E sound. What do you guys think? And shout them out nice and loud. Yeah, I heard a friend say the name Steve. Steve. This is actually my dad's name. Steve. So I have again a capital letter S. I've got a magic E on the end that we can see, but we cannot hear it. And then that long E sound. Long E says its name, E. Look how wide my mouth is, and it's really pretty closed. E. My tongue is flat in my mouth. So I've added the name Steve, Pete. Another word I came up with was the word theme. Can you guys say that word with me? Theme. We can think of a theme as like maybe you would have a superhero theme to your birthday party. This is the way that the word theme looks. We've got our TH that makes that in the beginning, our long E, E, a consonant, and the magic E on the end where we do not hear it. Nicely done, friends. All right, now we are going to go to our short I. So here's our short I friend here. Some of the examples, fin, big, wig, in. It makes that I sound. Our song is to the tune of Mary Had a Little Lamb. Mary had a little pig, Mary had a little pig that made the short I sound. And then we added in other words as well. Mary had a little wig, Mary had a little wig that made the short I sound. You can add in other words there as well. So now we're not focusing on that I. Again, my mouth is pretty closed. I. Okay, my tongue is touching my teeth. It's kind of raised up in my mouth as well, my tongue. We're gonna look at our long I sound. Again, long vowels say their name. I. Look how wide my mouth was there. I. My tongue was super flat as well. I. So here is our word here that has our magic E. Okay, this is the word kite. I says that long I sound. T is our consonant, and then we have that magic E on the end. Kite. We don't hear our E on the end, we just see it. And it makes our vowel say its name. I. What are some other words that maybe either rhyme with kite or have that long I sound? What do you guys think? Shout them out nice and loud for me, friends. Oh, I heard a friend say bite. Bite. It rhymes with the word kite, and it has that same spelling pattern with our magic E on the end and our long I and that consonant in between. Kite, bite. What's another word? Maybe if we change this time, instead of rhyming kite and bite, those definitely rhyme. Let's think of a word. If we maybe change this word, bite, let's change that to a k. What new word do I have? Yes, I heard a friend say bike. I took out that t and I added in a k, which is made by our letter K here in this word. So we've got our long I, we've got our consonant K and silent E on the end. Bike. What's another word that maybe rhymes with the word bike? Shout it out nice and loud for me, friends. You're doing an amazing job with this. Like. Yes, amazing. Like. I like to learn here together with my friends. And it rhymes with our word bike. Like. Perfect examples. Now we've practiced our long A, our long E, and our long I. Let's move on to our long O. All right, so for our shorties over here, our O, short O says ah, ah. Look how wide and open my mouth is. Ah, and my tongue is flat, ah. Some examples we had were hot, not, and mop. Our short O song was to the tune of Pop Goes the Weasel. The short O has the ah sound like dog and log and frog. The short O has the ah sound. Pop goes the short O. Nice. So now we're focusing on our magic E and our short O. So here's our word down here that has that short O. And it is, as you can see a little picture here, long O will say its name. O. I see a B consonant, B, and then we've got our magic E on the end there. Let's add that E here, robe. Can you think of another word with a long O sound? Maybe it rhymes with robe. I almost said it. Yeah, so I was thinking of your ear lobe. Lobe. It's spelled the exact same way as our robe, and it rhymes. It has those same vowel and ending sounds there. Lobe. So we've got robe and lobe. And then I was also thinking this word robe. What if we got rid of that B sound that we hear at the end and we replace it or switch it out with the P sound? What new word do we have? Here we have robe. Now we want to take out the B and add in a P. What word would I have? Yes, you are getting so good at this. Oh, not that one, that's blank. This one here, rope. Rope. Same exact spelling pattern. We've got that magic E telling the vowel to say its long vowel sound, saying its name, O. But this time, instead of the B, we have the P. Rope. Rope. Last one, friends. Now we have our short and long U. You. All right, let's do our short U song. It was to the tune of Oh My Darling. Found a short U, found a short U has the sound. Bug and rug, pup and cup, short U has the sound. Nicely done. And then now you can see here in our chart. We've got two examples here. So I'm gonna add my E's, my magic E's to the end. Got magic E here and magic E here. So magic E again, it's gonna come in, it's gonna boss this vowel here to say its long vowel sound. So instead of saying tongue is flat and low, touching my teeth, my mouth isn't super open like or it's pretty round, right? Now instead it's gonna say you. Look how my lips come together. You, it says its name, right? So here we have the word cub. B. Then that magic E comes in and instead changes our vowel from to U. And we have a cube. Cube. And then we also have another example. And it rhymes, same sound, same ending sounds as cube. We have a tube. So instead of b, tub, like a bathtub. Now we've got our magic E comes in and changes that U to a long U, tube. Like here's a science test tube or like a tube of toothpaste. What are some other words that have that long U sound? These ones I did not come up with rhyming ones. I just tried to think of other ones in my brain. Can you shout them out nice and loud for me, friends? It's another word that might have that U sound in it. Oh, I heard a friend say huge, huge, as in really, really big. It has that U, that long U sound because of that magic E on the end. Nicely done. What's another one, friends? This one I'm thinking in my brain of an animal. Do you know what I'm thinking of? Nice. So I'm hearing some friends shout out amazing examples. The one that I had in my brain was a mule. Mule has that long U, our consonant L, and then that magic E on the end. Mule. All right, the last word I came up together with, friends, was the word fume. Fume, like a fume or fumes come out of your car when you're driving. Fume has that long U and that magic E here on the end together. Nicely done, friends. You are incredible. So we kind of mentioned that there are some other examples of ways we can hear the long vowel sound. So one of these ways is if a word is starting with that long vowel sound and it makes its own syllable. A syllable is how many beats we have in our word. So my name is Julia. I have 3 beats in my sound, and it's because of the talking vowel. So magic E, even though it's there, it's not a talking vowel. It's silent, right? We don't hear it. So all these words that we came up with have one talking vowel, so they only have one syllable. Bake, cake, tape, cube. There are some words that start with a vowel, and it's a long vowel sound that has its own syllable. Like this word here, angel. Angel. Can you clap that out with me? Angel. So that A is all on its own and it makes that long vowel sound. So I'm going to add that to my chart, but I'm going to kind of add it off to the side here. And each of these vowels has an example. Here's another one for the letter U. And you might enjoy this one. Unicorn. U, long U, and it has its own beat. Unicorn. So we can hear these talking vowels. 3 because of the vowel here, the I, and the O. Nicely done. All right. Another example for the letter I. Island. Island. So we have our talking vowel, I, land, island. So they have two syllables because of our talking long vowel at the front and our talking vowel A in the middle there. So I'm going to add that over here next to our I. Okay. Another example for E. 11, like the number 11. It starts with our talking vowel E, long E, and then we have two more E's, giving us 3 syllables. 11. You guys are amazing. Okay, and then we have our last one, O. Oval, the shape, oval. Our O is long and it has its own syllable. It's a talking vowel. Oval, oval, 2 syllables. All right, friends, the last thing I want you to kind of turn your attention to, we're gonna scooch you guys this way so you can see our other little chart here with our cute little friends here, the Y twins. This is another way that we might hear that example of the sound I, that long I vowel sound, or E. You can hear the sound even though it's made with the letter Y. So our first I, or our Y twin here, with the I t-shirt says, in 1 syllable words, I make the same sound as I. Okay, so here are some examples. Fly, my, try, cry, buy. Those are so many examples. 1 syllable words. They end in a Y, but this Y twin says I, like the long I vowel sound. And then lastly, we have our other Y twin. This one says, in 2 syllable words, I make the same sound as E. Okay, so you can see here, we've got Y's on the end here. Baby, happy, silly, creepy. 2 syllable words, they end in a Y, but you can hear it makes that same sound as our long E. Or in 1 syllable words like fly and my, make that long I sound here as well. So just to review for your brains, friends, you guys did amazing today. We focused on that other sound that vowels make, the long vowel sound, and they say its name, A, E, I, O, and U. And we focused on our magic E rule. It's silent, we see it, we don't hear it, but it says that this vowel should say its name. We focused on when our words maybe start with a vowel and they make their own syllable. Angel, okay, we hear that A. Or unicorn, we hear that U. Syllables are sounds or beats that we hear within a word with a talking vowel. So magic E, not a talking vowel, it's silent. And then we focused again on our Y twins over here as well. We know that Y can either say 2 sounds. It either says I in 1 syllable words or E in 2 syllable words. All right, friends, join me next week. We'll go over all of those different letter combinations that come together to make those same long vowel sounds. I can't wait to see you guys again. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.